Hey guys. So apologies for that effing mess. Wow. So yeah, called the ISP while you guys were waiting, and that just dropped out. So live stream down the drain. They're figuring out something. Backbone, one of the Eastern Corridor backbones, I guess, went down for him. Whatever. Doesn't mean I can't watch it. It doesn't mean we can talk about it afterwards. So let's dig right in. 3.15, season 3, episode 15 of Around the Verse. I was really looking forward to watching it with you guys, but say Levy. Testing. Man, I hate it. The download was fine too, so it was weird. It was
Hey
just
everyone, and
upload.
welcome to Around the
Anyway,
Verse,
sorry,
our
guys.
regular in-depth look behind the scenes of Star on the website.
To find out more about some of the tech going into 2.6, let's go now to the UK for the studio update.
Woo!
Welcome back to the UK. I'm Mickey Oliver, QA tester, here to give you this week's studio update. Now
Mickey.
over to Ali and Luke to talk about Asteroids.
Asteroids in our game previously were all hand-placed, painstaking for the designers and the artists to position them.
They're going procedural, aren't they?
The practical limit of how many we could actually place by manual process. So with the new request from design was so they could place hundreds or even millions of asteroids. So the new system was designed to be able to cope with any scale that we can come up with. So each asteroid field we only have,
Zoom in.
The client has a few basic properties that they want to change per asteroid field.
Oh, okay.
So to achieve something like Saturn's rings like this, we would have textures like this where we define the height of it. The offset is type of like how, if it was going to wiggle up and down, which for Saturn's rings they're perfectly flat, so that's a flat color. The variation is to handle like different colors, different materials, made of different composites, metals, whatever we might find.
He's talking asteroid belts.
Well. And if we go to another example, this is from Oblivion. They have this destroyed moon, which is a bit like our broken moon example.
That's so cool.
We might have something like this where we have a lot more interesting variations. We have a pattern in the height. It's going to have some verticality in it from this offset. It's going to have some variation, and then the density has a nice feather off in it. And it should be really easy for the artists to go through, or the designers to go through and quickly make interesting asteroid fields or quick changes to them, which they don't have to spend an eternity coming up with.
So what I want to show you today is how we're going to use the new asteroid tech in practice.
Yeah.
What I want to do is show you how we used to have to create asteroid fields.
I was like, that's not just an image, right? You can actually get close to the belts, right?
It makes it so much easier and look so much better.
I only asked because of Elite Dangerous.
This here, as you probably recognise, is yellow. It's the moon with the asteroid ring around it that we put in our first iteration 2.0. This here is the current density that you'll see in
Okay, good.
2.5. That's the old tech. Turn that off. Here's the new.
Yeah.
Generating. The way it generates that is we have say about 9 or 10 asteroids, unique kind of asteroid models in there, and it goes through and it makes them one at a time, layers them on top of each other. As you can see there, the density.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount. As you can see, these things are rotating very subtly. Obviously, the point is very subtly, but I can show you.
It's
kind of.
It's one of the coolest things you can do in space is fly through an asteroid field. Man.
There you go. What's going to happen is the smaller ones will rotate much faster than the larger ones, to the point where the largest don't rotate at all because we're putting bases on there. These kind of things. So, for instance, in yellow there are these.
Because we're putting bases on the large ones. Awesome.
Full of pirates. There's gameplay involved, and we've actually crafted those.
That's fantastic.
Around here is an exclusion zone, which prevents all the other asteroids from spawning in there, the dynamic asteroids.
Still be kind of cool if your base was spinning around, though.
All of this combined, we're going to end up with a really, much more cinematic asteroid experience. You can imagine flying through here. It's going to be really exciting. We're finally getting the kind of density and movement that we've been aiming for.
There's literally no limit on the scale. We can have them millions and millions of miles wide, the asteroid fields, and we can all have them moving as well, and you'll never find the same pattern twice. Every single asteroid will be positioned uniquely. So I think that's quite exciting for the gameplay, that you literally, every single place you go in this asteroid field will be unique.
Last time around, we
Oh man,
did
I want
a
to play
bit
that
of
right
a
now.
brief overview of the camera system and what tools our community are going to have to play with. And today I'm just going
I
to
was just talking to.
show you what exactly it is you're going to be able to play around with, and also give you a bit of an overview of how the spectator mode is going to work.
Let me pause it for a second. I was just talking about this with Fireball in the Discord channel about the camera controls and seeing where they're at, because I wanted to create like a trailer, some sort of trailer for Bar Citizen. I was gonna have some fun with it. Then he was sharing all the kind of the fan trailers and stuff like that. So I was wondering, like, all right, I didn't know like the camera controls were that good. Like I know they were getting better. So this, like, I'm really anxious for these because I'm gonna be whooping out. I'm gonna kind of dig into the kind of the fan made trailers stuff. So this is really cool. It's good timing.
As well, we have our orbit cam, which, as the name suggests, allows you to orbit around the ship from all different angles, and then the passenger orbit, so you can basically focus in on your
Looks so good.
manipulate the camera. And then plus and minus will change the lens size to a preset one, so you can go to an angle like that where it zooms in close, flattens out the view, or you can pull right back. And like I say, it's changing your depth of field. With all the camera features I'm about to show you, we have a nice quick reset key, simply because if you're wanting to change things on the fly, or if you've done something that you're not happy with and you want to go back to the start, you simply hold F4, press the star key, and that'll reset exactly where you were previously.
Star key.
So that's your lens sizes. The other new control I want to show you is the target offset, and that basically just allows you to move the position that the camera's pointing at. So rather than focusing bang on the center of the ship, you want to look a bit to the side, bit above, bit below, you can do that as well. So just like before, hold F4, and to manipulate the offset, use your arrow keys primarily. So left arrow will move you left in the x-axis, right in the x-axis, forward and back in Y is your up and down arrows. And if I just reset that, I can show you
Fine tuning.
page up, strafe up, page down, will strafe down in the Z-axis as well.
Can you move it completely off the screen?
Orbit camera, which I mentioned before. What
I wish you'd
basically
showed
do
us.
is very, very similar to what our players have had before, but by pressing Z,
Like,
the
I want it to
target
come in,
focuses
like-
on the orbit controls. This will allow you to move around the ship. You can still, in this mode, change offsets and lens sizes, and then you can reset them at the touch of a button. So a real high up angle there. Save that. And then in addition to this, we'll do a nice close-up one of the player. And let's go
Will it
ahead and
animate from one
lens
to
size.
another, or just skip?
Right up close to see all that detail. So I'll save that to slot 3. So while the game's going on, you can literally just change these on the fly. So I can go, right, that camera 1 that I saved is there.
Oh, it
back
cuts to
camera
it.
3, over to
Yeah, I guess you
camera
don't want to
4,
waste
and
time.
shot. The tools have kind of been designed in mind for not just use in gameplay. So you will be able to create new views and
For
bespoke
recording.
camera angles for while you're actually playing the game. But we're also kind of gearing this towards people who want to make their own content, their own
Yes.
cinematics and their
Yes.
own screenshots. And
I was
all
thinking
that
it would be
kind of
interesting to
thing.
have,
Doing
like,
now,
if
so
it animated
you can
between the
make
two
it
presets,
easier and give better results
then
at the end of the day as well.
That's awesome.
then you can kind of create
So
some
really helpful
nifty
with
shots like
character
that.
testing.
Some nifty
And I can't
panning
wait to
shots,
see all
or
the screenshots and the videos
you know what I mean?
you guys
Like, there could be
post
some
to show
cool
off our
angles,
beautiful
and
game. I'm a big fan of these updates because they're going to
You
make
could
my
do.
job a lot easier.
They,
And that's all
they
about
also
video
mentioned
updates, so
previously. They
back
mentioned
to the play.
previously that you'd be able to detach it and set it
Nikki.
stationary
That asteroid
somewhere.
tech is
Like,
really
did I
going to
make
help
that
the
up, or did
designers
they
a lot.
say
When
that?
tech
Or
like this
maybe they
comes online,
just haven't
it
gone
can
far enough
drastically
yet.
reduce how long it takes to
I was
edit
really
the
looking
game.
forward to that,
This
because then
will
you could
allow
have
for
like
new content to be added back in
stationary
the
and like
future.
the
I'm
like
really
just like
excited
a
to see what
ground
the
shot
artists
and
and
feet
designers
going
will
by
come
and
up
stuff
with
like
for
that.
players to explore.
As cool
I was
as
really
the
looking forward to
asteroids
that.
were, I'm really excited about the new camera system.
Good call. Make some extreme expressions as fodder, it says.
For our next behind-the-scenes feature, the audio team walks us through all the work they've been doing to get Star Marine ready to play.
Woo!
Overall, Sam Hall, the coder, and I, we spent a lot of time, first of all, unifying the music across the game, because Star Citizen is so huge and there's so many different aspects of it. But we were working very hard in these different areas, but it was all getting very compartmentalized. We've managed to bring it all back into this one whole global system. And that's given us a really nice foundation for Star Marine now. We have this great clarity. We know how to build these systems and get the best out of them.
That is a ridiculous neck tattoo. I love it.
For the PU and for Squadron 42. You can really hear it starting to pick up now. And you know, you're about 50% successful at this point. You're starting to feel the energy. It's getting exciting. We take it up again. See, these 3 layers of music are starting.
I can't emphasize how awesome this soundtrack is.
Start to hear. And this point is really starting.
I've been listening to his music on Spotify, Pedro.
And we can take that all the way up to 100%. And now it's big, sort of full spectrum music. You get a real sense of excitement.
Love it.
Factor of how the music progresses and gets more dramatic. But there's also a time element that's...
Anyone know what cameras they use?
One.
What cameras and
Although
audio
that's one piece
equipment
of
for these?
music, that the time element controls like the percussion, and that'll start coming in as time runs out, regardless of where we are in that overall intensity layer.
So I'm associate producer for the audio team. My role is to communicate with all
Nicola.
the other studios and with all the other producers all over the world, so in Germany and LA and Austin. I have to make sure that my team get the right information and right in time, so we can actually work on the highest priority first and make sure everything's just good in the game and has a proper sound and proper music and dialogue. And we're looking forward to see Starmweed into the game because we have so many features that are coming in from the audio side as well. We have the pressurizing and the depressurizing state, so when you're outside in depressurized area, everything sounds muffled and you know actually that you are outside and all
Thank
sounds
God.
like this.
Area of Echo 11. It's quite a kind of industrial, dark sounding space. There's a lot of steam and rattles and groans of metal, you know, contracting and stuff like that.
What do the
it's
green
quite
lines
ominous.
represent?
It's supposed to be quite dense and quite kind of heavy, I think. All of these little spots here are placed audio that are kind of emitting one specific sound, yeah, they all work together to build up a sound of the level, a sound of the room in kind of one.
Why is there an origin
area.
point?
This
All of
is,
them go back to an
some
origin
kind
point,
of
though.
like pipey type things.
I'm not getting the
here,
concept
kind
there.
of- hopefully you can hear the, you know, water and stuff like that moving through the pipes, and yeah, and there's steam and things that kind of emit from the floor, and occasionally you'll get like bursts of steam and air and stuff like that, both like that in the audio and visually. Yeah, there's a little bit here that I'm quite proud of. It's a vent that you can kind of crawl through and get into another area. But I spent quite a lot of time trying to make it sound very encased and very isolated and small. So it's got things like
And everyone on the
same
Star
kind of
Citizen
metal
team
rattles, but with very tight reverb on them. So
has
it feels
passion
like you're
projects
really
like you.
in this tiny little.
And that's
corner
why this game is
space.
so awesome.
Another thing we're looking at doing in this.
Obviously everyone will know about is the SCM speed change, where we kind of halved those speeds from what they were to try and increase the
Dogfighting.
closeness of combat and make it feel a bit more engaging in that sense. And it just had to be addressed in some way. And that, I guess, leads us to demonstrate how cruise is no more, and how we've adapted Afterburner to fill that gap, to reach those speeds. Here we go. This is me now using Afterburner. And you see
Nice subtle sound. I like it.
cruise speeds here, and I'm
Sounds like a
holding
space
shift to
afterburner.
get there. And then when I release, the current plan is to, once you afterburner, you will stay at the velocity you've hit.
Oh yeah.
Once you release the key, and you'll stay in what we're terming like an afterburner active or afterburner primed mode, where you'll continue at this velocity. Your afterburner or hydrogen fuel will start creeping down slowly, but you've used a lot of it to burn up to this velocity in the first place, and have gone out of bounds.
Whilst we have reduced.
There's no okay, so they're probably gonna actually. I'm cutting it probably too soon, but theoretically, I mean, they could just from like just 0 to 100% use all the afterburner, and you will accelerate that whole time up until the last bit of fuel is used. That's how realistically it should work, right?
Use the SEM speeds. The afterburn speeds push you back up there, but the fuel consumption has had a complete overhaul, so you can maintain those faster speeds for longer.
You'll be able to maintain it at that velocity and use less fuel, like pretty much as we show here, but there will be a higher burn cost for getting up to that velocity. Just want to point that out. There will be the penalty of using afterburner quickly. You have to wait a little bit, but if you're using it to get over great distances, you're burning up fast, you'll then truck on as you are, consuming very little. But it's those moments where you have to quickly engage it in a combat situation that might cost you in terms of fuel use. But if people are familiar with how boost works, it's essentially shortening acceleration times on all of your directional vectors so that you can maneuver a lot faster, and that's what boost's been used to. If you're sliding off course, you hit the boost key and you get back on course much quicker than you would have done, but at the cost of the fuel, so you lose a penalty to that. Once you trigger the afterburner, you become a lot less maneuverable, much like you do in cruise, as I'm demonstrating here. This is me at
Fair enough.
Afterburn.
It's a good trade-off.
Maneuvering.
Overall, you guys a fan of this
entirely based on
revamp?
where your throttle is once you
At least the idea behind it. I know you guys haven't gotten
the
hands
lower
on
the
yet.
throttle is, the more
but
maneuverable you are whilst afterburning. I suppose trying to change your course quickly, decouple your spin.
Does it sound like a good idea to
hit
you guys?
Afterburner to get those main engines to change direction as quickly as possible. As you can see by that. If you want an afterburner in 2.6, you just press shift and hold it.
I like it.
That's all you need to do.
I like it because I gotta believe it's gonna lead to more like
That it was on
strafe type
We
pad
we
HOTAS.
gameplay.
Boost away
Yeah.
from that key.
So racing, everyone was super worried that SEM speeds were cut in half. They thought it was going to be super slow, and it's not, because
They
you've
were
got
right.
these new
I'm just
ways
kidding.
of boosting. So, for example, as Andy tries to fly whilst I'm
Wow,
kicking
that is
for
actually
it,
pretty.
you can use the afterburn down the straighter sections, and obviously you can modulate that with your
Nice
throttle
drift.
to sort of decide how
Tokyo
much
drift, baby.
afterburn speed you want. You can absolutely bomb it down.
Does
the
that
straight
actually feel
and
faster? That feels a hell of a lot faster.
boost, put all the power to his maneuvering and retro thrusters to do
I like that.
tight turns. We've been doing a lot of testing of this with QA. That's
I like
another
it.
thing that's changed. Like, a lot of racing at the moment is simply throttle to 100%, and away you go. With this,
See, you
actually
can take.
managing your throttle.
It's almost like let's drift right as close as we can to that corner. I like that a lot.
The
I like that a
M50
lot.
handles quite differently to the 350R. Not just a case of linear acceleration or turning speed now. A lot of the ships have favourable axes, so they can turn better when they're angled one way versus another. So how you do a really fast lap in an M50 is not going to be how you do that fast lap in a 350R. You're going to have to learn how your ship works, what's the strongest axis of thrust on your ships, and sort of customise that.
I think it's a lot of fun now with these changes, especially when you hit the afterburn. It kind of locks you into a straight line into the walls. Yeah, good fun.
And it also changes dogfighting as well.
Yeah,
those
that's what I mean. I'm
SCM
gonna be able to like
brought in combat massively. And another thing that we haven't really talked about
with the
is
camera angles. I want a
weapons
static camera where I can
advance
just
as well.
drift right past
Gone
the
and
camera.
actually ground up across the board. All the
That's
ships
what I
have
want.
Their tuning changed. All the weapons have had their tuning changed. The shields have had their tuning changed. The health points of the ships have had their the values changed. So it's really
Listen to me. I want.
sort of not a clean slate, because we had, and then hopefully do some damage.
The boost
You
is
can see everything
is reverse, right? Or can you add a?
much closer in your face.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. If you guys understood,
It was, or
it
is
was
actually
afterburner and
where
boost is both bidirectional.
everything's always so far away. Everyone's flying really fast, and that's one of the things we really wanted to tackle with this.
Or are they opposing?
Combat in close, in your face.
Yeah, you still got the advanced skill of a pilot can use afterburner.
Man, remember the Avatar
Fuel as they've got.
comparison I made where
And still combat
Michelle Rodriguez's ship when she died, but she was like right past the asteroids. This is that. This is that.
Those who want to push themselves with advanced
It's gonna be awesome.
skills and mechanics can still do that, and they've got new challenges to learn.
All I need is the ship
It's got the
that
missile
can do the
cannon
most.
launchers in there.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
That is the most maneuverable side to side. The most strafable ship.
Still going though.
Yeah, still going.
I like these changes, guys. I like these changes a lot.
So that's the new flight model changes that we're working on. Still lots of iterations to go.
Bravo.
Got a lot of certainly UI elements to help improve there. Hopefully that
My dog's staring at me.
concerns that people had.
She's like, I thought you were gonna stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great way to see beautiful explosions up close, and who doesn't like explosions?
I don't like
there's been
explosions.
Some concern
Ugh.
with cruise mode going away, but I think once backers get a chance to test the new adjustments for themselves, they'll see that all of these changes, we are giving them actually a lot more options. With the weapon and component balancing, along with afterburn and boost working in conjunction, it can provide players with a lot more flexibility while flying and fighting.
It makes it sound like it's
Cool, and I wonder
you can
what
add
the
both
new
at the same
boost
time.
will be.
Yeah, it's probably going to be way better than something I can do.
Oh, I want
But
that
of course,
mug.
It's not only about the new times. Now that there's
I
going to
collect
be all those
mugs,
new
guys.
ships. That's all we have for today's show.
Wow,
We'd
that
like
one
to
went
thank our
quick.
subscribers who
I thought we were
help
only
us
like
produce
halfway
extra
through.
content like this, and Bug Smashers and Lore Makers
Shit.
and all our behind-the-scenes shows.
Yes, we do. And a special thanks to all of our backers, new and old, who have made Star Citizen possible. And we could not do this without all of your support.
To find out more about some of the features we highlighted, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Or reverse the verse
In the UK, thanks.
And until
This
then,
guy's awesome.
we'll see you
Around the verse.
Oh, you do this? Around the verse.
I figured. I don't know why.
This way.
Yeah.
That was good stuff, man. That was really good stuff. Yeah, big fan. I'm a big fan of all the combat changes. Those were sick. Because as I said, it's gonna give me more side to side. I feel like it's gonna give me more strafing options. So can't go wrong with that. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. New camera system. I'm all for it. Let me know if you guys did. You guys hear the same thing the last time they talked about the camera, that they're actually gonna allow you to detach it and static it, or maybe I'm just talking out my ass. Maybe that was just my hope back then. But that would really allow like fan films to like take off with like, and they can add like a limit to it. You know what I mean? Like you can't like get millions of miles away from it, but it would add a lot to what fans can do with the films as far as recording. Yeah, that stuff was great. The Asteroids stuff looks absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you guys think about that. I thought it was just the like from far away, but I totally forgot you can get right in there. Just like I think I said Elite Dangerous, but maybe I was thinking of No Man's Sky. One of the two had sick. No, it was Elite Dangerous. It was Elite Dangerous. Anyway, all that stuff looked really good, and the music stuff is obviously top notch. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go listen to some Pedro. Let me know what you guys think about that, especially the flight changes. I really want to know what you guys think about the speed decrease. I just think it's gonna be awesome. Sorry again about the stream, guys. I apologize. Hopefully they can get their act together. I won't be streaming the Reverse the Verse tomorrow because I'm actually headed to the city for the Bar Citizen. So cool, right? Hopefully, I was even thinking about maybe doing a live stream from there, but we'll see. People might get shy. I don't know, but hopefully I'm gonna get a lot of good footage. I'll do a video around the Bar Citizen just like I did last time. So if you guys are interested, cool. Stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching once again for the third time. Sorry about the stream mess up, but hopefully, I got this out the same night, so 1 in a million, right? I never get these out the same day of release. All right, guys. I will see you around the verse. Peace out.